Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. N. Shivasenani. I did my PhD in Sanskrit from Department of Sanskrit Studies, University of Hyderabad. In the paper Vedic, Epic and Puranic Culture, we consider the greatness of Rama in the present module titled Ramo, Vigrahavaan, Dharmah. In this module, our objectives are to learn and understand the special place occupied by Sri Rama. Rama is Dharma personified. We will try to get an idea of Dharma through the character of Rama. This presentation is structured along the following lines. Initially, we have an introduction. Then we'll ask the question, what is Dharma, and try to define the broad contours. Then we'll describe Rama, the ideal hero, and then examine the incidents in Rama's life to see the applicability of Dharma. Then we consider Ramarajya, and before concluding, we'll take one example from later literature as to how this belief that Rama is a personification of Dharma influenced later poets. Let us start with the introduction. To understand the culture during the epic period, we study the characters in epics. However, since epics are also literature, most characters have sharp edges or some flaw or the other. We see that in normal literature also, that in any book, any character, he has some strong points, some weak points, some great qualities, some not so great qualities, some desirable ones, some not so desirable ones. Similarly, in most of our own literature in Mahabharata, Ramayana, most characters have this kind of flaw. Then one does not know whether this particular flaw, it is the nature of the character or the sign of times. For example, was everybody bad like Duryodhana during the time of Mahabharata? That's the question we have. When we have a perfect character, it is very useful because such a character would represent the ideal of the age. Then we would know that in this age, this is the ideal, this is what people wanted to do. Whether they completely succeeded or not, we don't know, but at least that was their ideal. In Ramayana, not only do we have such a perfect character, namely Rama, but the perfection of Rama is declared in the text itself. The context is like this: when Ravana approaches Maricha in order to kidnap Sita, Ravana initially paints Rama in very negative light. He says things like, Rama has been thrown out of his own kingdom, he's such a useless man, etc., etc. Then Maricha replies, praising Rama profusely and describes him as the embodiment of Dharma. The particular shloka is reproduced here. Ramo Vigrahavaan Dharmah Sadhuhu Satyaparakramaha Raja Sarvasya Lokasya Devanam Iva Vasavaha. Rama is Dharma personified. He is good, that is, he is always keen to help others. His truthfulness is his valor. He is Satyaparakramaha, we said, for whom Satya itself is Parakrama. He is the king of all men, just like Indra is the king of gods. Now remember that Maricha is an enemy of Rama. He is the brother of Subahu and the son of Tataka, who have been punished by Rama in the Balakanda when he goes to protect the sacrifice of Vishwamitra. Such a person, such an enemy of Rama. Finally, Maricha was the person who came as the illusionary deer, Maya Mruga, and took away Rama. Such a person has praised Rama as Dharma personified. What more need to be said? Now that we have such an ideal character in Rama, first we'll examine what is Dharma. Generally, Dharma is given as an example of the untranslatable word. There are a few words in Sanskrit which do not capture the full meaning when translated. Dharma certainly is one such. To explain briefly what Dharma is, it could be said that Dharma is both what is upheld and that which upholds. That's the reason why you have this great saying, Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. That means the Dharma which is protected will protect you. We need to protect Dharma and Dharma will also protect us. We need to uphold Dharma and Dharma also upholds us. Translated, what it is saying is, it is a set of principles which, if all of us follow, society will have order and there will be lack of chaos. So formally, I would define it like this. Dharma is a set of principles which differentiates man from lower forms of life. Again, this is much repeated in our literature. It is a set of principles which, when followed by all, leads to the maximum good of people. Here I am trying to introduce a concept called Pareto efficiency from economics. saying that amongst all courses of action, that course of action must be chosen which results in the maximum good of the maximum people. In these terms, dharma is that which determines it. That is, if everybody follows dharma, the maximum good of the maximum number will result. Now, what are these principles? They are listed in many places. I'll give you one example from the module in the same paper, Arthashastra. Ahimsa, Satyam, Shaucham, Anasuya, Anrusamshya, and Kshama are the common dharmas, says Arthashastra. The Yajnavalkya Smriti says Satyam, Asteyam, Akrodham, etc. We have many such lists. We have a list of 20 such qualities in Bhagavad Gita. In Manusmriti, 10 such qualities are repeated. In Bhagavatam, we have Satyam, Daya, Tapas, Saucham, etc. The list go on. In fact, there are several Dharmashastra works forming a genre of their own. Dharmashastra literature is huge. There are 18 Smritis, then there are Nibandhas, then there are later compilation anthologies. Even to this day, Dharmashastra works are compiled and followed. Some of you might be aware of books like Dharma Sindhu, which are still consulted by people when it comes to question of what is Dharma. So, the whole body of literature is there to explain what is Dharma, which is what I just tried to say is a list of principles which, when followed by all, leads to the benefit of maximum good of the maximum number of people. There is another view, Yagadireva Dharmaha, says Arthasangraha, a text of Mimamsa. Dharma is nothing but the performing a sacrifice according to Mimamsakas. This is one school where Dharma is nothing but doing Yajna, Yaga, etc. Everybody accepts that Veda is the source of all Dharma, but thereafter in the elaboration, differences seem to come up. I use the word seem because there are no differences. Dharma is one, only it is explained differently by different people, that's all. One such attempt to tell what Dharma is the story of Ramayana. Within that, the story of Rama, the character of Rama is what teaches us what is Dharma. This leads us to the next section, that Rama is the ideal hero. I'll give you a few extracts from the text to show that Rama is conceived as the ideal hero in this particular epic. Ramayana starts with a dialogue between Narada and Valmiki, where Valmiki asks the former to name the ideal person. That is, Valmiki is asking Narada, "Sir, please tell me the ideal person." Valmiki doesn't stop there. He also lists 16 desirable qualities so that he may narrate the story of this particular person. What are the desirable qualities that Valmiki wanted? There are 16 and they bear listing here. He should have excellent qualities, Gunavan, he says. He should have valor. He should have knowledge of Dharma. He should have gratitude, Dharmagnyascha Kritagnaha, he says. Truthfulness, unshakable determination, excellent conduct, that is Charitam. Compassion towards all creatures, Sarva Bhute Hitaha, he says. Knowledge, Jnanam, capability to do great things, Samarthascha, Valmiki says. Pleasant appearance, self-control, control over anger, Jitakrodha, lustrous brilliance, lack of envy, and power which frightens even gods. Valmiki was searching for a hero with all these qualities. And the answer of Narada was, yes, there is one such person, he is Rama. And his story has become Ramayana. Therefore, the beginning of Ramayana only we have the statement saying that the ideal man is Rama. It is said that the essence of Ramayana is to conduct oneself like Rama and not like Ravana. It is said, Ramavat pravartitavyam na Ravanavat. Though Rama is an incarnation of Vishnu according to tradition, Rama conducts himself like a human being and does not depend upon his divine powers. This is in contrast to other incarnations of Vishnu, for example that of the Krishna Avatara, where he uses his divine powers. Here, no such usage is observed ever. In the epic, Rama is the ideal son, ideal brother, ideal disciple, ideal prince, husband, kinsman, warrior, friend, leader, king, father, and a human being. We can see examples of all this as we go by. To know Rama then is to know Dharma. In other words, when the question comes up, any difficulty comes up for us, we should simply think, what would Sri Rama do in such a situation? Whatever is the answer, that should be the course of action we choose. Therefore, tradition says, Rama is not different from Dharma, Dharma is not different from Rama, they are one and the same, it says. Hence the usage, Rama is the personification of Dharma. If Dharma were to have hands and feet, head, etc., that bodily form would be that of Sri Rama. We will examine a few incidents in Rama's life to test this claim. I have listed some of them here: killing of Tataka, giving up the kingdom, friendship with common people of Ayodhya, or with Guha, with Shabari, with Jatayu, etc., killing of Rakshasas, killing of Vali, giving refuge to Vibhishana, performance of last rites of Ravana, Agni Pariksha of Sita, sending Sita to forest, expression of gratitude to Hanuman, and Shambhuka Vadha in Uttar Ramayanam. These are some of the incidents we will take to go through, examine this claim that Rama is Dharma personified. In killing of Tataka, the background of the story is that Vishwamitra takes Rama and Lakshmana along with him to protect his sacrifice, which is being disturbed by one Yakshini called Tataka along with her two sons Subahu and Maricha. When they appear, Tataka causes immense distraction and the evening twilight is approaching. But Rama hesitates to kill her because Dharma Shastra says one should not kill a woman. Then he asks Vishwamitra what he should do. Vishwamitra replies, "Do not hesitate that Tataka is a woman, go ahead and kill her." Here we see that in young Rama, knowledge of Dharma is there. He has a doubt, he asks his teacher, gets the answer for all of us and goes ahead and kills Tataka. Here we see the inclination of Rama to always do what is Dharma. We all know the main part of Ramayana story where Rama gives up his kingdom. This needs some elaboration because among Kshatriyas, kingdom is the prize worth dying for. We see that happening even amongst current ruling classes. We see sons challenging fathers. Some do openly, some do subtly. Respect is different, political power is different. Such is the lure of kingdom. And what do we see in Rama's case? Rama's candidature was tested by Dasharatha in full court. You see, Dasharatha in Ramayana announces in his court saying that I want to install Rama as the next king. What do you all feel? And everybody gives their opinion. Therefore, Rama's candidature was tested in full court. So it was Rama's right to ascend to the throne. Dasharatha did not actually press Rama to relinquish the right. In the entire Ramayana, if you see, Dasharatha does not say, Rama, please give up. He is told by Kaikeyi that your father has given me these boons, that's all. Rama's brothers, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrugna, mainly Bharata, they wouldn't have minded at all. In fact, Bharata later begs Rama to come back. That is the devotion of these brothers towards Rama. Yet, not only brothers, even the rest of kingdom was firmly behind him. In spite of all this, he walked away. A great personal sacrifice, one would think, because of his respect for his father, because he did not want his father to be known as somebody who did not keep his word. Here, one more point needs to be elaborated. People think that he listens to both his parents. That's not the case. Kaushalya actually tells him not to go, to stay put. But he does not listen to her because when it comes to listening, he has to listen to his father. He has to take care of his mother. Rama knew this distinction that when it is the father's word, who is the king, who is the guru, he has to keep up that. In fact, we have other stories as well in Puranas available for this. But he knew Dharma, he did that. For that, sacrifice, his own personal sacrifice was nothing for him. Then we see that his conduct with common people, exemplary. Rama is said to be Purva Bhashi, that means he is the one who opens a conversation. We see a lot of celebrities. Imagine a celebrity meeting you in a railway station, maybe a flight. Would he say, hello, I am so and so? No, they are celebrities, right? Would a great king or a prince or a great political leader say that? He might not. But Rama, bigger than all of these people, he would be the first one to say hello and open the conversation. That's the kind of person he was. And we see proof of this, that the people of Ayodhya adored him. They wanted to go along with him to Vanavasa. The way he befriended Guha, the way he hugged him. Guha offers his entire kingdom as that of Rama because Rama is in trouble. That's the kind of friendship he developed with a Nishada king. He is not a mainstream king, so to speak. The way Rama conducts himself with Jatayu, with Shabari, Shabari gives Uchishta to Rama. Uchishta is eating something and then giving it. It is called Jhuta in Hindi. Even today, many Sishtas do not eat Uchishta. Then imagine Rama, such a great man, eating the Uchishta of a tribal woman like Shabari. His conduct with commoners shows what a great human being he was. Later in Dandakaranya, we see that Rama picks up fights with Rakshasas without any cause, all because the sages and Munis doing penance there complain to Rama saying that the Rakshasas are disturbing them. Then Rama vows to fight them. Sita then has an argument with him. Why are you picking up a fight with people who have not done any harm to you? Then Rama answers, Sita, we are the representatives of Bharata. Bharata has sovereignty over these lands, and it is his duty to protect Dharma. Therefore, for that sake, we must pick up this fight. And single-handedly, Rama fights, of course with the help of Lakshmana, all these Rakshasas in Dandakaranya. There again we see that he upholds Dharma. Then we come to the incident of killing Vali. Again, this is well known. Vali and Sugriva are brothers. In a fight, there is a misunderstanding and Sugriva ascends the throne. Vali comes back from the fight and then banishes Sugriva. Not only does he banish Sugriva, he keeps Sugriva's wife Rama and treats her as his own wife. And Sugriva is in exile. Then Sugriva and Rama, they become friends through the agency of Hanuman. And each has lost his wife, each has lost his kingdom, so they promise to help each other. When Rama wants to kill Vali, Sugriva tells that Vali has a particular boon, that whoever comes in front of him, the Vali has the boon of getting all the power of the enemy. There is a different way of interpreting this, but we'll keep it apart. Therefore, during the fight, Rama stays behind a tree and kills Vali. So people ask two questions. Why did Rama kill Vali? Vali did not do any harm towards Rama. And is it okay for Rama, such a great warrior, to hide himself and kill Vali from behind a tree? In fact, Vali himself asked these questions in a long sarga in Kishkinda Kanda. And Rama also answers. He gives two answers very clearly, saying that Vali, you have done adharma by enjoying the wife of your brother even while your brother was alive. As the king's representative, it is my duty to punish such people, and your punishment is death. Second, as to why I hide behind a tree, when it comes to killing animals who have better reflexes than human beings, it is perfectly all right to be hidden while making war on these particular people. Since you have extraordinary prowess, it is all right for me to stay behind a tree and kill you, because that's what we would do with a deer, with a lion or whatever. So the questions of Dharma, Vali confronts him on Dharma and Rama answers as to why it is in line with Dharma to do this. The next incident we see is the acceptance of Vibhishana. When Rama goes to war with Ravana, just before the war, Ravana's brother Vibhishana comes and says, I want to join you. Everybody in Rama's army is against it. They give him counsel, all his ministers. But Rama has a principle that if anybody seeks refuge very sincerely, we must grant that refuge. So he takes the brother of his enemy to bosom without knowing anything about him. That's another great principle that Rama has shown to later people about giving asylum, giving refuge when sought for. Another incident that comes to our notice is, after Ravana is killed, Vibhishana still has a lot of love for Ravana and weeps over Ravana. But now that Ravana is in enemy camp, he has doubts whether he will be allowed to perform last rites, the Antyeshti karma, and looks up to Rama and says, what do I do now? Rama's words are a guidance for later generations. I will read out the shloka. Maranantani vairani nivrittam naf prayojanam kriyatamasya samskaro mamapyesha yatha tava. Maranantani vairani. Enmities, all our hostilities, they end with death. If our enemy is dead, with whom do we have no enmity? With his soul, which is the same as our own, which is the cosmic soul, or with his body? That's the question Rama is saying. In fact, it declares, Maranantani vairani. Enmity ends with death. Once the opponent has died, enmity has also ended. He also gives a reason for it. Nivrittam naf prayojanam. Our prayojanam, our purpose is now fully accomplished. There is no point in having enmity further. What is the purpose? To bring back Sita. Who was stopping it? Ravana. Now Ravana is dead, we can take Sita back. Finish. Now, he is to me as he is to you. Just like he is a brother to you, he is now like a brother to me. Please his last rites may be performed. There is what we call Dharma Sukshma here. Everybody goes through 16 samskaras from the moment he is born to the moment he is dead. The 16th samskara is Antyeshti, the last samskara. It has to be done. And in India, there is a great tradition that even if there is an anatha shava, that is the dead body of somebody who doesn't have any relatives, the samskara still has to be done. The guidance in this has been established by Rama, who not only orders the last rites of Ravana, but has himself done the last rites of Jatayu, his father's friend. Then we have the incident of Agni Pariksha. Again, this is much discussed. Why should Rama subject Sita to such a humility? You must understand that Rama represents the dharma of his age, and that Sita is to him his own self. They are very close together. Rama pines for Sita in the Kishkinda Kanda throughout. It's very beautifully described by Valmiki. But when it comes to accepting her back, having spent a lot of time in some other man's house, he had to establish that she was pure, that nothing happened between Sita and Ravana. He knew it in his heart, but to establish it for the sake of the world, he asked her to do Agni Pariksha because he has supreme confidence. We need to understand that. We cannot impose current day feminist values in Treta Yuga because he represents his time. If we impose today's values, we can learn nothing from the past. One important thing is that for him, Sita is like his own self. Therefore, we see that Rama's sacrifice of losing the kingdom is also Sita's sacrifice. Sita's test is also in one way Rama's test because they are inseparable. The same logic pervades to sending Sita to forest in the Uttarakanda. After having done Agni Pariksha, what else is left? Still, when somebody doubts her chastity, if Rama does not do this, people will think that Rama, for the sake of his own personal comforts, has disregarded Dharma. Therefore, he says, if that is what people think, then I will do that sacrifice as well. I will sacrifice my domestic bliss. In those days, he could have remarried. His father had 300 wives, but he did not remarry. But he still performed his sacrifices by keeping a golden statue of Sita next to him. This again, Dharma means that one sacrifices oneself for the sake of the village, one sacrifices the village for the sake of the country, etc. Here, Rama would sacrifice his own personal comfort and then that of his wife for the sake of preventing anarchy in the kingdom, to ensure that the kingdom is on the path of Dharma. In the next section, we will see how important it is that the king cannot do even the smallest thing which is seen as something wrong. In the section on Ramaraja, we will explore this in detail. The next incident that we cover is the expression of gratitude to Hanuman. Hanuman has done so much for Rama that Rama says, Ekaikasyopakarasya pranan dasyamite kape seshasyehopakarāṇām bhavāma runino vayam. O monkey, for each act of help done by you, I shall give you my life. That you found Sita, I could have given you my life. Then you brought back Lakshmana to life, I could have given you my life. How can I do anything? Whatever you have done for me is so great. But having given my life for the first help that you have done, what happens to the rest of your helps? For all my life, for the remaining, we shall remain indebted. We as in I, Rama, shall remain indebted. That is, your service can never be repaid in full. See how warmly and so humanely he expresses gratitude towards Hanuman. That's the reason why Valmiki, Narada described him as Krutagnaha. He understands what has been done for him. Finally, we will examine one more episode called the killing of Shambhuka. This occurs in the Uttarakanda. One day when Rama is in court, the Dharma Ghanta, that is, kings used to have a great bell placed outside. Anybody in distress can ring this bell and justice would be done. And when Brahmin loses his 5-year-old boy, he comes to the court and says, I lost my son without any reason whatsoever. Then that indicates that somewhere adharma is happening in this kingdom. Please investigate it. So the council also investigates, and finally it is established that a Shudra called Shambhuka is doing penance somewhere in a forest. In the Treta Yuga, it was against the dharma of this particular varna to do penance. that was reserved for Brahmana and Kshatriya Varnas. Now what is to be done? The punishment is decided as death. Rama takes his Pushpaka Vimana, goes to the particular place and kills him himself. In today's politics, it is viewed as something which is not at all dharma. But then in the same assembly it was said that in the Kali Yuga, it will be the Yuga of the Shudra. But in the Treta Yuga, this was not done. The king had a duty to defend Varnashrama dharmas and he alone executed that. He knew how painful it was, therefore for everything else he would send Lakshmana. When Sugriva does not respond to the rainy season is over, Sugriva does not start the search for Sita, Rama does not go and ask. Lakshmana goes and asks in a very angry mood, Sugriva, please start the search. When Sita has to be left in forest, Rama does not do it, Lakshmana does it. When the king Lavana has to be controlled, he does not go himself, he sends Shatrughna. But when it came to killing Shambhuka, he himself went, killed him, sent him to Vaikuntha, because however noble the work being done by Shambhuka was, if it upsets the Varnashrama dharma of the Yuga, there would be anarchy. That is the reason why he had to do it. In today's terms, we should look at it as taking the law into one's own hands. As a citizen, we still cannot go and kill people. Everybody has their roles, they have to play their roles. It is only for protecting these roles that Rama had to do that. Therefore, it is not only great things, there are also a few controversial things which look controversial from today's point of view. But the way to understand an epic, the way to understand a character is to understand it from the standards of those times. We will examine the next section, having looked at the incidents in Rama's life, what Ramarajya is like. Rama is the ideal person, therefore Rama's rule is the ideal rule. Ramarajya in India denotes just rule, resulting in the perfect state of affairs. What is the perfect rule? Ramarajya we call. In fact, Mahatma Gandhi desired Ramarajya during India's fight for independence. His call for uniting India was that we should establish Surajya or Ramarajya. When the king is just, everybody follows their dharma and natural calamities, unnatural deaths, etc. do not occur. In fact, so confident were the people that nothing unnatural will occur that a death of a 5-year-old boy became a topic of contention. By the way, after Shambhuka Vadha, the boy comes back to life because adharma no longer happened. The first sarga of Balakanda, in verses 90 to 94, Ramarajya is described thus. People were happy, strong and followed dharma. There were no diseases or sufferings, nor was there fear or famine. No men witnessed the death of their son, nor women of their husbands. That means fathers always died before their children in the normal order of things. There was no fear from fire, water, storms, disease, hunger or theft. The cities and countryside were with wealth and food. All were happy as if they lived in the Krita Yuga. According to Dharma, nothing untoward would happen if something wrong was not done. When there is a just and powerful king, not only will the king not do any wrong, he will not allow people to do any wrong. Now, if no dushkarma was done, if no bad karma is there, how can there be suffering? That's how when the king is just and powerful and ensures that everybody follows the path of dharma, the entire kingdom is happy, prosperous. In fact, whatever was said is repeated in the last sarga of the Yuddha Kanda as well. Therefore, we see that Rama is not only an ideal king, Ramarajya is the ideal rule. In fact, that's how society wants to be. When such a perfect man comes, even the Yuga Dharma will change, that what was Treta Yuga was as pious and righteous as it was in Krita Yuga. This character of Rama was so powerful that Ramayana has been retold many times, hundreds of times, and each poet drew inspiration from the character called Rama. We take one example to see how this influenced later poets. Many can be given, but we don't have the time and space for it. We take the example from Chempu Ramayana of King Bhoja, who himself was a king. The situation is that Rama meets Kaikeyi first time after knowing of the boons she asked for. After one verse, his second verse is of Rama towards Kaikeyi is like this. Vanabhuvit anumatra tranam ajnapitam me Sakala bhuvana bharaha sthapito vatsamurtni tadiha sukaratayam avayoho tarkitayam mai patati gariyan ambate pakshapataha. Beautiful sense it has. Only the protection of my body in the forest was ordered for me, but on the head of the dear lad Vatsa, Bharata, the burden of protection of the entire world has been placed. If we look at the tasks allocated to the two of us, O mother, you have unduly favored me. Pakshapata is the Indian word for nepotism, favoring somebody. Rama is telling Kaikeyi, mother, you are being partial towards me. How can somebody say that? She just robbed Rama of his kingdom and gave away the kingdom to Bharata. But look at it from Rama's point of view. For Kshatriya's kingdom is not something to be enjoyed. It is not luxuries, it is not power, but it is a great responsibility. What is the responsibility? They have to protect. Protection is the responsibilities for a Kshatriya. Therefore, Rama recognizes that by giving the kingdom to Bharata, Kaikeyi has given the greater responsibility of protecting the entire kingdom. Bhuvana Bharaha, the Bhara of Rakshana of the entire Loka has been given to Bharata. And what was the duty given to Rama? Of protecting his own body in a forest. What happens when one goes to forest is there are wild animals from which one has to protect oneself. That is a small duty given. Therefore, Rama says, mother, you are being partial towards me. That is a sense of dharma that Rama has. Being a king, Bhoja himself understood that kingdom is not a luxury, kingdom is not something to be enjoyed, but the kingdom is a responsibility. His understanding stemmed from his own understanding of Sri Rama. Such has been the influence of Sri Rama, the character Rama, on later generations of poets that continues even today, as we have seen in Mahatma Gandhi, who summarized his vision for India in one word, that we want Rama Rajya. Having examined all this, let us summarize. Of course, the summary would be Ramo Vigrahavaan Dharmah. Rama is nothing but Dharma personified. Rama is the ideal son, student, prince, friend, brother, husband, leader, warrior and king. In every role you will see that the ideal is Rama. How should a son be? He should be like Rama. How should a student be? He should be like Rama. How should a prince be? He should be like Rama. How should a friend be? Like the friend of Guha, the friend of Sugriva, like Rama. How should a brother be? He should be like Rama. How should a husband be? He should be like Rama. How should a leader of men be? He should be like Rama. How should a warrior be? He should be like Rama. How should a king be? Like Rama. How should a human being be? Like Sri Rama. He is the idol of Dharma presented in front of us by Valmiki. Rama not only followed Dharma, he also enforced Dharma. That's what explains the killing of Vali, the sending away of Sita, etc. He sacrificed his personal pleasure for the sake of Satyam and his family for the sake of order in the kingdom. We've seen that through examples. Therefore, we say Rama is Dharma personified. Thank you.